What's up, Wolverines? Let's talk about the ATF getting their asses kicked in court. So it is Thursday, and my name is John Crump. I'm an investigative journalist, and if you're watching this channel, you probably know you're watching John Crump News, but if you don't, welcome. If you give me a big favor, like, comment, and subscribe, it would really help me out. We are still raising money for the Cub Scouts, so you can donate down below in the description, and today we are brought to you by our friends at Ground News. As a journalist, I like to look at both sides of an issue instead of just the media-backed corporate interest of one source. That's why I've been using Ground News. Ground News is an app and website that combines news from around the world in one place so you can compare coverage. For every news source, you can see their political bias, how reliable the reporting is, and who owns them. They even have a blind spot feed that highlights news that is being disproportionately covered by one side of the political spectrum. I've been using Ground News to check my own bias, and now you can too. Go to check.ground.news/John Crump and you can get 15% off. I use the Vantage plan to get unlimited access to all the features. By going to Ground News, you not only help my channel, but you help Ground News make the media more transparent. I want to talk about a case that happened up in Alaska. Alaska is a very gun-friendly state, and the ATF just got their junk smacked in the door by a jury. You see, there was a gun store that was open up since 1982. It was called Gator Guns, and the owner of Gator Guns got his FFL revoked. He got it revoked because, according to the ATF, there was 319 missing firearms. Now, the owner of the place claims that the firearms were not actually missing. It was simple clerical errors. This isn't just for 1 year. This is from 1982 up into 2019 when he was shut down. After the ATF shut him down, he transferred all of the firearms to his personal collection, which is allowed under federal law. The ATF wants you to either co-sign him with another FFL or actually sell them to another FFL, but that isn't law. That's only their suggestion. The owner of the gun store decided to add them to his personal collection, and he was selling them individually as a private citizen. In Alaska, they don't have universal background checks, so when he sold these guns, he was not selling them by doing a background check. He was selling them as a private individual. The Alaska man was selling them out of his former business location. A concerned Karen contacted the ATF and stated that he was in the business of selling firearms without an FFL and was not running the required background checks. Well, they're only required if you are a business, which this man stated that he was not in business anymore. He was just clearing out his private collection, which he is legally allowed to do. In December of 2022, the ATF went to Alaska and made a controlled buy. They made 2 other controlled buys, and in the summer of 2023, they arrested him for being in the business of selling firearms without a license. Now, he could have taken a plea deal, but he decided not to take a plea deal. He was going to fight the case, and that's exactly what he did. The ATF claimed that he sold hundreds of guns illegally. So during the court case, his lawyers argued that they were his private guns and he was allowed to sell them however he chose to sell them. In fact, that's exactly what the jury believed. His lawyer highlighted that he did not acquire any guns during this period to sell. He was just selling the guns that he already had in his possession, which is legal. After a one-day trial, the jury would return a verdict, and that verdict was not guilty. They believed that he was just selling his private firearms, and the ATF was overstepping their boundaries by trying to prosecute him for selling his private firearms. He did not have an FFL at this time, and it was impossible for him to get an FFL since the ATF revoked it. He did not receive any firearms to sell through the store. It was just the firearms that he transferred into his private collection from his old FFL. Now, this is the funny part. During the raid in the summer of 2023, the ATF confiscated around 189 firearms. The ATF now has to return every single firearm to the man who is walking free. And because this is a criminal case, there is no appeal. He is off scot-free. There is no double jeopardy. He's going to get all 189 firearms back, and he's allowed to sell them or do whatever the hell he wants with it. Now, the 3 firearms that the ATF did purchase through the controlled buys, they get to keep because it is technically their property now, and they will destroy those firearms. But this is a victory for the good guys. And even though this is not a big update and it's not going to affect a lot of people, it is still great to highlight victories when the ATF is made to look stupid anywhere, and they were made to look stupid in this case. All right, guys, I got another video coming out, but just wanted to do this one really quick because I enjoy it. All right, guys, so stay ever vigilant, stay ever free, keep it the fight, and I am out of here, Wolverines and MFers.